is going on? Every single thing has been a lie. He ghosted me for 3 days. I look insane. He was 1 foot out the door. Okay, wait, I don't want to cry. I got broken up with over the phone. I felt like I didn't even know who I was talking to. No one can speak to me like that. I'm here to tell it all. I haven't been nervous for a video in a really long time. I think by now we all know what this video is. I am nervous. Yeah, as you guys probably know if you've seen my last video, we have some things to address. We have some things to discuss. And on one hand, I was like, you know what? I don't owe anyone anything. I don't need to talk about this. I don't need to say anything. But that's just not me, let's be honest. And not just that, but you guys have been here for the entire journey of my last relationship, and to kind of just leave it open-ended, it would be confusing. I'm not gonna lie, because it is confusing. I understand that a lot of people have a lot of questions, and if I were to just like not say anything at all, everyone would be like, what the f is going on? This is not adding up, the math is not mathing. So I'm here to tell it all. This is for the girls, this is a debrief, this is a therapy session for us all, especially me, clearly. So with all that being said, I asked you guys to ask me on my Instagram questions that you had about my life, and let's be honest, every single question was about my last relationship. So let's talk about it. Question 1, are you and still together? No, I think that's quite obvious by now. If you have only seen my last Halloween video, that was probably a jump scare when I was like, I'm single for Halloween weekend. But nonetheless, we are no longer dating, as most of you probably know. Question 2, did you get broken up with in person or over the phone? I got broken up with over the phone. The call was like 5-10 minutes max, which is actually insane considering how long we dated for. Which, if some of you guys don't know, my last relationship was 9 months long, which isn't that long. It's actually my shortest relationship ever. Well, but 9 months for a 5 to 10 minute phone call? It's criminal. Now that we've addressed the basics, let's get into basically what everyone asked. I got so many questions. These are just some of them. Why did you and break up? Girl, what happened? Are you okay? I'm so sorry about the breakup, but what happened? Breakup explanation, please. What the f happened? Give us the play-by-play of how the breakup went down. I need to know the reasoning. Give me a 5-minute breakdown of this phone call. Did you actually break up? Psych, guys, April Fools, we didn't break up. No, obviously we're broken up. But my personal favorite was, how the f did your last relationship explode? If you guys can't tell already, I pretty much use humor to cope with all my emotions. I will be laughing throughout this video, even though this is literally not funny in the slightest. I don't even know where to start with this. If I wanted to tell you guys the entire story, number 1, I don't think that's appropriate for the internet. Like, genuinely, that sounds dramatic, but seriously, I don't think I should put that online. My parents would probably yell at me, but I will explain it as best as I can. But I just want to preface this by saying every single thing that you guys saw online of my relationship, all the videos, the photos, the vlogs, to me, was 100% genuine. He was like the most natural person I've experienced on camera. He loved being on camera with me from what I understood, and therefore, there was a lot of content of us. Oh my god, okay, wait, I don't want to cry. Wait, this is so embarrassing. I haven't cried about this since the day it happened, and then the next 4 days I cried, and now I haven't cried since, and it's been a while. Wait, why am I getting sad? I have not been sad about this. Okay, sorry. Ew, I'm scared. What am I doing? This is so mortifying. No, okay. Anyway, I want to tell you guys that because I don't want to make it seem like this whole thing was a lie. I was doing all this for attention on the internet. It was never as good as it seemed. To me, everything you guys saw, that's how I felt. But because it ended so badly, it's helped me move on quicker. Anyway, okay, this is the story. He came to visit me in Chicago in the month of October. Everything about the trip was great. He went back to San Francisco. As you guys know, we were long distance. He lived in San Francisco. I live here in Chicago. I only want to speak from my experience, but I knew that he wasn't having like the best week of his life at the time. Between our relationship, everything was great. He was just not having the best week. So he left Monday morning from Chicago, went back to work. I'm missing him. I'm counting down the days until I can see him again. Wednesday rolls around, and we have like a discussion about something that, to be honest, isn't even relevant to the breakup, so I shouldn't even explain it. But it was just something like I was personally upset by. Obviously, when you're in a relationship, there are things that you're going to talk about that upset you. And one thing I really valued about my relationship is like our communication level. I thought was really strong. Every time one of us had an issue or we were upset by something, we came to each other and we were honest about it. From my perspective, that's how I felt. So I came to him with something I was upset about. We talked about it. Everything was fine. Next day rolls around. It's Thursday. This is 4 days after he left. We FaceTime later at night, as we always do, right before I went to bed. And he used some choice words with me. I will say, definitely made me feel not good about myself with the things that okay, sorry. This is so gross. I can't explain this like fully because I'm acting like a freak. Okay. He said some things to me that really hurt my feelings on this phone call. That was Thursday night. Basically questioning my entire character, like who I was as a person. Sorry. And it really hurt my feelings. And I was like, if you feel this way about me, this is really confusing as to why you're dating me. And he was like, you know what? I don't know why I am dating you. And then the phone call ended. He hung up on me and I had no idea where we stood. I woke up my roommate in the middle of the night, like crying, and slept in her bed. That's so embarrassing. Shout out to my roommate, Katie. She's the best. I literally don't know what I would do without her. So then the next morning I woke up, I had no idea where I stood in my relationship, which was like very, very confusing. This is gonna be the worst explanation ever. I'm scared to edit this. So Friday morning, he calls me before he goes into work, pretty much doubles down on all the things he said. And I'm like, okay, I love you and I want to be with you and I want to work through this. Like, I genuinely do not know what was happening, because when I tell you guys, I felt like I didn't even know who I was talking to. I was like, where is my like sweet boyfriend who I love? Like, all of a sudden, like some like switch flipped and you don't want to date me anymore. You are questioning every single thing I stand for, like my morals and my values and all this stuff. So I kind of left it at like, I want to work through this. I don't know what's happening. I want to be here for you if like you're going through something. And he was pretty much like, okay, which then implied, don't feel the same, I don't want to work through it. He hung up the phone call and pretty much he ghosted me for 3 days. So from Friday morning until that following Sunday night, I did not hear from him. He said he was busy the entire weekend and he could not talk to me. So we didn't talk from literally that phone call and one text of me being like, can we talk? And him being like, no, I'm busy, until Sunday night when he then later called me 3 days later. So I had the worst weekend of my entire life. But I think because I was like already processing the breakup before it happened, it made it easier after the fact, but definitely not easy. So I had no idea when we were gonna be able to talk because he never gave me a time. So I'm like, when are we talking? And he's like, I can call at this time. So he calls me up. I'm expecting a 3-hour phone call, y'all. I'm expecting us to chat about this. What the phone call was not what I was expecting. Like, genuinely, I was like, okay, this is gonna be at least over an hour. I thought it was weird when I saw the call because it was a phone call and not a FaceTime. I was a little confused. I answered the phone. I said hello, and he said, I'm breaking up with you. I said, turn on your camera. He turns on his camera. I kid you not, this man is walking around in public. There are people, like, he's walking around in public breaking up with me over a phone call. Okay. See, now I'm done with the waterworks because now I'm just gonna start to get mad. Who breaks up with someone they've been dating for 9 months and was friends with for basically like a year before over a phone call in public of you walking home from something you were just at? It's giving checklist for the day. Wake up, go grocery shopping, break up with girlfriend, go to the gym. Like, I'm sorry, what? I understand we're long distance. I would never expect someone to fly here to break up with me. I obviously start crying and I'm like, why are you not crying? Basically, the gist of the entire conversation, he said, I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth is that I have always known deep down, I've never been in this as much as you are. I've always known that you loved me more than I loved you. These are not exact quotes because obviously I don't have a recording of the phone call, but from what I can remember by my memory, my experience personally is that I was told that he was 1 foot out the door. And I was also told that he was 1 foot out the door before he even moved. So he knew this whole time that he was not in this, which is obviously a shock to me who was 100% in the relationship. I was like, so you genuinely knew this entire time before you even moved that you did not want to be with me? The answer was yes. And I was like, why did you say all these horrible things about me last week? Do you really mean those things? Do you think those things about me? Is that why you don't want to date me anymore? And he was like, no, I don't think any of those things. I just said them. So I go the entire weekend thinking I'm a terrible human being, thinking the worst things about myself because of someone that I love telling me that this is literally who I am. Sorry, I am literally not trying to be dramatic right now. I don't want to cry. It's horrifying. Anyway, there was a lot more said in the phone call in those 10 minutes because I was like, I'm asking every single question I can to get this closure. That was my mindset because I know some of my friends have gone through breakups and they didn't ask any questions and they regretted that because it's harder to get over someone if you don't know what's happening. Like, to me, this was a total blindside. From my perception, every single thing has been a lie this entire time. So I don't know who I dated, and it's literally giving, who the did I marry? And every single question I asked you guys, it kept getting worse and worse. I was obviously stopping the entire conversation. He didn't cry once. He didn't show a single spark of emotion. I didn't see a glisten of the eye. Now let's get into the funny part. The phone call ends after 10 minutes. I am dumbfounded. I'm sitting right here, y'all. I am like, what is real life? So I get up. The best way I can explain this to you guys, if you have seen Mean Girls and you know the scene when Regina George finds out that Katie had been giving her the protein bars that would make her gain weight. sitting right here. I stood up, I ripped every photo of us, every memory I had with him out of my room, out of my apartment, threw it in the dumpster, and never looked back. Genuinely, I have been more mad about this entire situation than sad, which is why I'm like, why am I crying? At the end of the day, I did learn something from this experience, so it was worth it, blah, 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 like every therapist tells you. But genuinely, no one in my entire life has wasted my time as much as that. Because what was the point of that? Thousands of dollars spent on flights, on visiting this person who lived 2,000 miles away from me. For what? When the other person in the relationship knew it was gonna be over the entire time. Genuinely, to me, you guys, you do not love someone, from my perception, if you are able to do that to them. If you are able to deceive this person the entire time knowing you didn't feel the same way about them. I've told all my friends this story. They know every detail of everything this man said to me. And a lot of them will be like, that's not true. This is a lie. All I have to go based off of is what he told me. Regardless of if he was lying about that he didn't feel the same way about me just to like be mean to me to let me move on faster or not, it doesn't matter. Because either way, it's horrible. If you lied to me over this call, made me feel like our entire relationship was not real, that's crazy. But if this is actually how you feel and you're telling me the truth, that's also crazy. So yeah, and that's the story. Wow, did I miss a lot of actual details of what happened, but that's the best I can explain it to you guys. I do want to say, do not send this person any mean messages. That is the last thing I want. It does not make me feel better if you guys talk shit about him online. It doesn't help anything. This, at the end of the day, is a human being. Everyone does make mistakes, and I'm sure he does feel bad. So please do not send anyone hateful messages. Do not bully someone. Do not be mean to anyone. Please. That is the last thing I want. Thank you. Woo! I need a sip after that. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders now that I explained all that, and now we can get into the actual questions, the things that will clear up more of your guys' confusion, because you're probably still like, what? How are you really? You seem okay with the breakup. I just got dumped last week out of nowhere. Tips on coping with the breakup. I am so much better than I thought I would be. I don't know how. I don't know why. At nighttime, the week it happened, I was like getting sad. But once Halloween rolled around, I was like, we're back, baby. We are back. We're back. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday ever, so that could have not come at a better time because all my college friends were coming here. All my hometown friends were staying with me. I was having a huge party at my house. Everyone was gonna be here, so it was genuinely just the best weekend to take my mind off everything. And up until this video, I have been fine because I know for 100% that this is not my person. This person is not worth any more of my time, and that's it. I have such a good support system of people. Thank God. I have the best friends ever. I'm so thankful for them and my family and you guys. Like, I have so much support. That makes me want to cry. Why am I a baby now? Tips for coping with a breakup. What I will say is therapy definitely helps. My number one recommendation, you guys know I'm such an advocate for therapy always, which is why I'm so glad that BetterHelp is sponsoring today's video. As you guys know, I've been going to therapy for years now. It has helped me tremendously. I always recommend it to all my friends, family, anyone in my life. Now that's getting chilly out, the winter is approaching, I often crave slowing down, relaxing, spending more time being a homebody, and usually this helps me reflect, feel my emotions, and really deal with any changes that I'm going through. And although I still remain very busy, even in the winter months, I'm really trying to be intentional, prioritizing my mental health. There have definitely been times when I wanted to cancel therapy sessions because I felt like I didn't need it, or I was busy with friends and I didn't want to deal with going to therapy for 1 hour of my day. But then I come to realize that I do still need that support. It's so easy to think that filling your weekends with fun plans, spending time with friends will just fix all of your problems. But then sometimes I come out of that feeling even emptier than before. So I've learned that therapy does not need to take a pause at any point of your life. But what I love about BetterHelp, today's sponsor, is that you can take therapy anywhere with you. Whether I'm on a trip or at home, I can still have that space to process my feelings and take care of my mental health. Having my weekends booked has really helped me not focus on this breakup as much, really live my life, enjoy it, and realize all the good I have. But even then, therapy has been the steady support that I always come back to. I can't even explain how much it has helped me in every single season of my life. So this is your sign to check in with yourself and make your mental health a priority. With BetterHelp, all you have to do is fill out a short questionnaire and you will get matched with a licensed therapist in as little as a few days. And if it doesn't feel like the right fit, you can switch at any time with no extra cost. So if you're ready to start prioritizing your mental health, just click the link in my description box, betterhelp.com/Cora, for 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring. Now let's spill more tea. What was the timeline of you and your ex's breakup? Did you see this coming, or were you as shocked as the rest of us? It seemed like he was just in Chicago right before the breakup. No, he was here in Chicago from Friday morning to Monday morning, and then the breakup happened that following Sunday. So like almost a week since we had last seen each other. I was as shocked as the rest of you were, probably more shocked because I lived it. Yes, he was just in Chicago, so that was honestly more jarring. Was the breakup mutual? No, like I don't want to try to make it seem like it was mutual, but I definitely didn't go into the conversation with him on Sunday night thinking like, la la la, I'm gonna forgive him no matter what, we're all gonna be fine, we're gonna work this through, because no one can speak to me like that. No one will ever speak to me like that man did, because I am a confident person. I really am. And the way I felt from the words that were spoken to me, I don't want anyone ever to feel that way. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, he dumped me. Did you notice any red flags in the relationship? Were there any signs at all that your relationship was about to end? There were no specific signs. The only thing I can say, and I don't know if I'll include this, is that one thing that was said to me throughout the relationship is I would tell this person, I love you, you're my person. And what I was told back was, I love you too, I hope you're my person. And I was like, what do you mean you hope? And he was like, well, I can't be for sure. I can't be 100%. And in the moment, I was like, you know what? He's just being truthful. You don't know what the future holds, and that's what he's saying. But I would also respond and say, that just makes it feel like I love you more than you love me. And I was told, well, it's not a competition. To be honest, it just like doesn't feel good to be in a relationship and feel like you love someone more than they love you. And I think that's something I should have thought about, like that remark that was made to me a few times in the relationship. I should have thought about that more. That is the one red flag I should have paid attention to more. But genuinely, besides that, I don't think there was like telltale signs. No one would have seen that coming. Next question. What's the best thing you've done to cheer yourself up since the breakup? Make plans. Like every single day of my life. I have made so many more plans than I normally would. I'm getting out of the house more. I'm spending time with friends. I'm being spontaneous. I feel like my old self again. Based on how everything played out, does this give you a negative outlook on future relationships and love as a whole? Honestly, no. I think right when it happened, I'm like, f men suck. I hate men. But the reason it doesn't give me a negative outlook on relationships is because if I can love someone like that, think about how I'm actually going to feel about my future husband. Like I am going to feel so much more, and it's only up from here. Not necessarily, I guess. I can still get f***ed over by another man. But you know what? I'm gonna hope that they're not all the same. That is like my outlook now. I'm sure I will cry at some point in the next few weeks and be like, I'm never gonna find anyone. Shut up. It's obviously not true. So I'm gonna watch this back when I feel like that, because it's just not true. Would you guys ever get back together? No. Did distance have anything to do with the breakup? Would you ever do long distance again? And what was your experience with long distance? To my core, do not believe that distance had anything to do with this breakup. People can make long distance work. It's all about the effort you put in. And I think distance does make the heart grow fonder. Would I do it again? I'm not gonna say no. Do I want to do it again? No. Who wants to do long distance? I don't. It's definitely doable, and I think it changed my perspective actually about distance for the better. I genuinely was so scared to do distance when he moved away, but if you love that person, you will make it work. Did you have any intuition this was going to happen? No. The only intuition I had was that thing in the back of my mind of like, I don't know, 100% of you're my person. Off. You're not. The breakup seemed to come out of nowhere from an outsider's perspective. How did everything change so fast? Did you guys ever talk about the future, like moving in together, marriage, etc.? It did come out of nowhere, and that's why I was honestly so embarrassed. Like I just did a couples photo shoot with this man. Hello. It was mortifying, and it was out of the blue. Literally one day I was like, distance is temporary. I love this man. The next day I'm like, hi, I'm single for Halloween. I look insane, but I know I'm not. And as he told me on the phone, I did nothing wrong. I was the perfect girlfriend. And honestly, facts. So we did talk about the future. We talked extensively about me moving there. That was definitely not off the table. So yeah, it was very confusing. Do you still believe in the friends to lovers trope after this trauma? I do. I love a friends to lovers trope. I think that's one of the best ways you can meet people. If you can build that foundation as friends first, it is so amazing. Okay, next. Is this the hardest breakup you've ever been through? Yes and no. I was so all in on this relationship, so like it is hard, but because of the way it ended, it hasn't been my hardest breakup, honestly, because I'm just like, I don't like you. Also, when I was younger and I would go through breakups and overthink and be like, well, I need to get back together with this person. I have nothing to overthink. I think my second relationship was honestly my hardest breakup, and I don't know why, because I wasn't even compatible with that person at all. That was my first real heartbreak. My heart physically hurt, and I don't feel that as much. Like I do feel so sad, but it's been like really weird for me because I haven't felt that sad. Like, I have not been that down bad since that breakup. Do you think he used you for clout and attention? I don't know why that would ever be the case. I'm really not that relevant. What clout did you get? You got nothing. And also, like, you just look kind of worse now. That would just make no sense. I really don't feel like that would ever be the case. No. What's your biggest takeaway from your relationship? That communication is not the most important thing in a relationship. It is very up there. But if anything, it's second, or it's tied with trust. I am so easy to trust people. I always think people have good intentions. Like I said, I thought I had great communication in this past relationship. So I'm realizing now, like, wow, I really need like that trust aspect so much more. Did he cheat on you? No. Be honest, did you have your Halloween costumes picked out before the breakup, or did you rebrand them? No, guys, I had those all picked out. I had these costumes picked out long before. You guys know I'm already ready to plan for next year. I love Halloween so much. I love dressing up. If you have a theme party, invite me, because I'm ready for that shit. No person I'm dating is gonna tell me what I can wear ever. Drop your breakup playlist, please. Oh my God, wait, no. Can you guys drop your favorite breakup song below, and then I'm gonna make a playlist and then I can share it with you guys. That would be amazing. But I've been listening to Sabrina a lot. I've been listening to Olivia Dean religiously since this breakup. I love her so much, but I'm open to hearing anything new and I want your recommendations. Now that you're single, do you see yourself staying in Chicago for a while? Do you hate San Francisco now? I don't hate San Francisco, but I never wanted to move there personally. Like, I was only gonna do it like for my relationship. And now that I'm single, I do see myself staying here for a while. I mean, anything could change. Never say never. I'm very spontaneous, so we'll see. But I see myself here. Do you think you'll share relationships online in the future after experiencing all of this? I could never date someone and never show them. I could never get married and never show him, but I definitely think I'm gonna be more cautious of what I share now. Do you enjoy living with your roommate? Yes. You guys, I don't know what I would be doing going through all this if I didn't live with her. She let me sleep in her bed for 5 days in a row after this breakup. You guys are now gonna be roommates for probably a lot longer. So yeah, I love her and I love living with her. Do you think coming from a long distance relationship, it's easier to cope with your breakup? 100%. So comforting knowing I'm not gonna go out and run into that man. I'm here, he's there, and it definitely makes it so much easier. What's next for your career? Who knows, you guys, but the world is my oyster now. I think I need to go on a reality TV show, and now that I'm single, the opportunities are endless. The vlogs are about to get a lot more chaotic and a lot more fun. Stay tuned. Last question. What's next for you considering everything that has happened? We never know with me, do we? I don't know what's next, but I'm excited. I love you guys so much. This was like my own private therapy session with my best friends, aka you guys. Make sure to follow me on Instagram so you can be part of the next Q&A. Thank you for all of your kind words, love, and support. It does not go unnoticed. This was an oversharing experience, to say the least. But fuck it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. I've been thinking about. I know this breakup sucks, but like, I'm having a great fucking time. I have an aura to myself when I'm single. I'm back, baby. Good times. So tell me all your worst lies. I believe them if I try. For the sake of time, just give me the eye. I've been thinking I said don't blow my high. I'm on that carpet ride. I've been swerving, I'm